I'm Laz Dressler, and this is Larry Simpson, owner of Cheyenne River Golf Resort. I'm the owner of Emerald Crystal Golf Course, and we want to introduce you on how to play golf in Second Life. Let's go ahead and get you started on how to purchase or rent your golf clubs today by going into the clubhouse and looking at the different vendors and how to attach your golf system. Happy golfing! Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Laz Dressler, and we're at Cheyenne River Golf Course. What a wonderful day to play golf. I always think it's a lovely day in Second Life because it's 24/7 beautiful. So today we're going to teach you how to rent golf clubs and how to begin playing golf. Right now, I'm standing in front of what I call the Fa Golf Club set, or the Happy Face Golf Clubs, because that's how you'll find them in your inventory. I'm going to rent a set of clubs right now here because first you got to know if you like them or not. So I'm going to click on, it says touch me. I'm going to touch this vendor. And when I touch it, I'm going to get a set of golf clubs. I'm going to accept them, the card, and the golf HUD. When I want to find them, I'm going to go over to my inventory in the lower right-hand corner of my screen, click on Inventory, and look in my Objects folder. Instead of trying to sort out the whole thing, I'm going to use the Recent tab, and the Objects folder should be at the top. The very first items should be the Golf HUD 4.0, your golf scorecard, and your golf club 4.0 R. All of those things are things you'll want to wear in order to play golf. So I'm going to right click on them and add them to my avatar. I add the golf club first, and you see it's been added to my avatar. I'm going to add the HUD, the 4.0 HUD, and it's going to put the little HUD in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. At the same time, I'm also going to add the golf scorecard, which is going to be added to about the middle of the far left part of my screen. Now I'm going to be ready to play golf. But before I do that, I also want to introduce you to the next version of golf clubs, because there are two different versions, and both of them are very, very adequate to play golf in Second Life. And there's only two types of golf clubs right now. So I'm going to detach my items very quickly so that I can introduce you to how to add the elite golf clubs. And this is where you'll find the opportunity to purchase the elite set, or you can also rent them. And when you want to rent them, all you have to do, you'll see the famous CC Golf Club bag with golf clubs in it. And you'll see it says rental clubs, 10 lindens. You'll click on that bag, pay the bag the 10 lindens, hit OK. And it'll teach you how to use these clubs. I'm going to skip that tutorial because I'm giving you a tutorial right now. Once I pay it, I'm going to hit touch again and accept the golf clubs. This set adds a folder to my inventory. I'm going to click on the folder, and I'll see that there's a manual in there on how to use the clubs. I also have a golf, it says CC Elite Golf Rental Club. I'm going to right click on that and add it. I also see a CC Elite Club Rental HUD that I'm going to also add to my avatar. All of those items need to be added. With the CC golf clubs, you will not get a scorecard, so you'll want to purchase one from the golf course you go to. Now, one of the most important things that you'll need to remember before you begin to play golf is that you do need to join every club you go to in order to play golf and to res your ball. So we're going to walk over to the join group, and I'm going to add the group to my groups in Second Life. So we'll head over there and we'll start again when we get over to that next opportunity, which is to join the group. Okay, so we're at the group joiner. And as you see above it, there's a little bit of a hover text. And the hover text is telling us, click here to join our group. So we're going to click on that sign. It's going to give us some text and say, do you want to join the group? And you'll find that information in your local window. It'll say something about floating text or whatever they have on there. But it says join group button. If you click on the name of the place where you're at, in this screen, it says Cheyenne River. I'm going to click on the Cheyenne River words. They're underlined. And the group joiner pops up, and you'll see a button that says join group now. Let's join the group. And once we join the group, it adds it to the top of your avatar right above your name. So you see it says now, I am a Cheyenne River VIP. So now it's time for us to learn to play golf. I'm going to start with featuring the, like I call them, happy face clubs, so that you can get familiar with both sets of clubs. I'm going to add that club back onto my avatar. I'm going to add that HUD back onto my avatar. Once I've joined the group, if you look over my head, you'll see that I've become a Cheyenne River VIP. And now I'm ready to play golf. If I do not join the group, I will not be able to res a ball, and I will not be successful at playing golf. So now we're going to go ahead and walk back out to the golf course through these beautiful doors. And we're going to walk up the pathway straight out to the first tee box here at Cheyenne River Golf Course. Just after we walk outside the door, we're going to see some more signs. The most important one is you're going to need to buy a scorecard from the different golf courses, or set up your Fa Club scorecard to function for every golf course, which means you're going to need to know all of the pars and all of that, and it gets a little bit overwhelming when you're first starting. So the easier way is just to go ahead and buy their scorecard, and it helps support the venue. So we're going to go ahead and buy the scorecard from Cheyenne River by touching the sign, and I accept the scorecard. Now I have a scorecard that works and also is completely aligned to this golf course. So it knows every hole I go to, and it knows the par of those holes. So it will take one moment for your scorecard to res. Now that your scorecard should be resed, in the upper right hand corner, or left hand corner, sorry, you're going to see a word that says menu. Menu has many different options. It allows you to choose between the front 9, the back 9. If for whatever reason you have a mulligan, you'll be able to subtract by hitting the minus button that stroke. If you forgot to put your scorecard on before you started your game, you can also add strokes to your card by hitting the plus sign. If your scorecard already has a score on it, because scorecards are copied, so you can make as many scorecards as you'd like, especially when you have a really amazing game and you want to remember it. Just hit that reset button and it will clear the score off your card and allow you to start a new game. If you want to brag about your score, there is also a button called Score. If you click on it, it automatically sends your score into local chat, and everyone on the golf course can see what an amazing score you've had today. We also have a place to see landmark. And once you're done, all you have to do is hit exit and the blue screen disappears from your screen. At the top of your scorecard, you'll see the name of the golf course that you're at, which is really important because, like I was saying, those scorecards are all set up. Okay, so right now we're at Cheyenne River Golf Course, and this golf course is owned by Larry Simpson. It's a beautiful course. It's a wonderful place to play. It's very challenging and can provide you with an amazing good time. You don't want to miss out on playing here. But we do want to introduce you to the golf course where I am the greenskeeper and one of the owners. I want to make sure that you get a full golf experience about learning about the different places that you can play golf as well. So we're going to TP over to Emerald Crystal Golf Course and show you how to play golf in a place where I'm a little more familiar and have a little more skill, if you will. So let's hop over to Emerald and we'll be talking to you shortly. Okay, so we're at Emerald Crystal Golf Course now. And at every golf course, you will see that the first tee, the 10th tee are very close in proximity so that when a golfer comes to the golf course, they have the opportunity to select whether they want to play the full course or just 9 holes. And I showed you on your golf HUD how to select front 9 and back 9. We're at Emerald and we're going to go to our left and we're going to go over to the very first tee box by coming over this bridge. Before I play golf, I always like to turn on my hover tips. Hover tips will help me decide just how hard I want to hit the ball and how long I want to hold down my mouse on that arrow that you're going to see when we begin. So I'm going to go up to, in my upper left hand corner of my screen, I'm going to select Avatar and go into my preferences. Or if you're not a mouser, then you can hit Control P and that will pull up your preferences. I'm going to select Preferences. And I'm going to go down on the menus and find User Interface. Going to click on User Interface and it's going to drop me right on the screen I want to see. You're going to notice the tabs in the upper part of that screen. You want to be on 3D World and it will say just under 3D World, it will say Hover Tips. You want to put a check mark in Show Hover Tips. Put it check mark in On All Objects. If you have a check mark in On Land, click it again and remove that check mark. The most important one is the check mark that goes in Show Extended Information in Hover Tips. That check mark will give you the information you need. You can take your check mark out of Show Avatar Group Titles in Hover Tips because you really don't need that information. We're going to click OK. Now, when I go to hit my ball, I can reach out to a specific area on my screen and it will tell me exactly how far it is. At the very bottom of that little white pop-up, you'll notice it says distance, and it will tell you how many meters you are away from the item that you've hovered over. Now we're ready to play golf. We have everything set up. My body is actually aligned with that tee box. I'm going to walk up to the tee box to where I like to hit from, and I'm going to begin playing golf. Now, the Fa clubs have 3 different club options. They are a little more cerebral when you use them, meaning you have to think a little bit harder, but they are very effective, just like any clubs in Second Life. So whether you choose to use the Fa clubs, which are the happy face clubs, or the Crowley clubs, you can successfully play a game of golf and be a wonderful golfer all the same. On the HUD, you'll see you have a question mark where you can get help. That's in the lower left-hand corner. Above that is the opportunity to change the color of your marker with the little gear that has a rainbow on it. You have a little gift. This little gift is wonderful. When you buy these clubs, the little gift allows you to share clubs with a friend who you are teaching clubs how to play golf. So if you click on it, it will ask you who you want to send the clubs to, and it shows you whoever's near you. You click on it, select that person. It will give them clubs that they can use for one day. So now we're ready to play golf. I'm going to go to the lower left-hand corner of my HUD, and you see the word driver. I'm going to select driver, and I want you to notice now a little arrow popped up at the bottom next to my feet. My body is facing in the golf stance, but it understands which direction I was facing. Above that arrow, you'll see a little puff of smoke. That little puff of smoke is showing you the wind direction, and it also has text that tells you how fast the wind is driving your ball and in which direction. In this case, the wind is going 6 meters per second, and it will shoot my ball slightly to the left. So I want to compensate with my arrow and make it shoot a little bit to the right. I also use my voice dot. My voice dot is probably one of the biggest tools I use in golf. I use it to align myself where I want my ball to go and to be more successful on keeping it on the fairway rather than the water. I hit driver again because it made my arrow disappear. I still could have hit my ball, but I want to see where my arrow is facing. I hit driver again, puts me back in my stance, and it allows me to see that arrow one more time. Now, in order to make the small incremental moves on my HUD, on my arrow, I use my arrow keys, and notice it makes my arrow move right and left. But the increments are really large. I want to make them a little smaller. So if I hold down my shift key and use my arrow key, it will make smaller incremental adjustments for my ball. Now I'm ready to hit my ball. I put my mouse on the arrow, I hold it down, And notice about elbow height, I have a little meter and it turned full red. That gives me a full hit. When I release, my ball should go about 58 meters out into the fair. And I ended up in the water. Well, shame on me. See what happens if you don't look at the wind and you don't follow through on all of those instructions, might not end exactly what. So of course I'm going to do a screen mulligan. So I want to hit that and get it in the spot. So I hit my driver, stay right here. I hit my driver again. I hold down my shift key, make those little incremental moves. I align myself so I can see where I'm going. And I hold down my arrow again, my mouse, sorry, and hold it down as long as I can. Let go. And my ball flies right out into the fairway. And hopefully this time, there it is, right there in the center of the fairway where I intended my ball to go this time. When I want to go out to my ball, I can walk out there and enjoy the view, or if I right click on that marker, the pink marker out there, by the way, I chose it to be pink. All I have to do is right click on it, pull up the pie and hit go to, and it will take me right there and land me dead center on my ball. I'm going to show you how that works, and then we will continue showing you more features about how to play golf. Okay, so now that we're out here and I've reached my ball, again, I'm pretty close to center to where I want to be, but I'm going to use my voice dot and I'm going to align myself with that flag that's all the way out there. I'm still too far away. I'm going to use my hover tips and I'm going to rest my mouse on that flag, and it tells me I'm about 70 meters, almost 80 meters away from that flag, which means I cannot get out there in one stroke using the Fa clubs. I'm going to select driver again on my HUD in the lower right hand corner. When I select driver, it pulls out my aiming device. I'm going to use my shift key and my arrow keys to hopefully get it somewhat aligned with that flag, but not too much, because remember I have a 4-mile-an-hour wind going at me. Now I want you to notice where that where the little meter comes up on my body. It comes up right about elbow height. I can watch that meter, and if I shorten the length of time I hold it down, it also shortens the distance that my ball will drive. What I know about Fa clubs, if I hold it down and count to 12, I will get a full hit. When I start shortening the time that I hold it down, my ball goes less and less far. So I'm going to go ahead and drive this out here with a full hit. Like I said, I know in my head that I can sit and I can count to 12 and get that full hit. I'm going to hit driver again because, again, my arrow disappeared. I talked too much. It's my arrow. I'm going to line it up a little bit with that hole, but not too much, because I have that wind. And I'm going to hold it down. And I'm going to wait till it turns completely red. And I'm going to wait about 2 seconds after it turns red, let go, and go ahead and have that full hit to hopefully get me on the green. Now you can see my little marker out there, and I'm ready to try and make that ever popular eagle. An eagle is a wonderful thing when you're playing golf because it reduces your score so much better. So now I want to know, how far away am I from that pin? And I'm 28 meters away. A wedge, if I click on wedge, I could use a wedge, but knowing that the ball is going to go much higher in the sky, it's going to be affected by the wind, and it's not going to get me all the way to my destination, which is the hole right there in front of me, 28 meters away. So instead of using my wedge, I'm going to select my driver, and I'm going to shorten the amount of time that I hold it down. I select driver, my arrow comes up. Now, am I aligned with that? Not quite. So again, I'm going to use my shift key. And also notice I have a 4 mile an hour wind, this time going to the right. So I need to make sure that I adjust for that wind so my ball doesn't go quite as far to the right as it could. Once I do that, I feel like I'm aligned. I'm going to go ahead and hold it down, but this time I'm not going to hold it down quite so long. So if you watch my meter, you'll see that I don't hold it down all that time. And I overshot the hole, but I'm on the green, so now I can make a really good putt. I'm going to walk out to my ball. And I'm going to go ahead and click on and go to my marker, because when I go to my marker, oopsie, where did I end up? Okay, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go ahead and click on my marker and go to my marker so that I can end up straight dead center on my ball, but I'm not facing the hole. All I have to do is turn around. Once I turn around, I line up my dot with the hole, and I can go ahead, select putter, and ask myself, how far away am I from the hole again? Align it with my arrow keys, holding down my shift key, and select just how hard I want to hit. Do I need to be right on top of my ball? No. You have an area of about 2 meters that you can utilize when you're hitting your ball and still have a fair hit in a tournament. I'm going to hold down my mouse on my aiming pointer. And I don't want to go full because I will overshoot it and drop it right into the hole. So there's your lesson on how to play with the Fa clubs. In the next little set, we will be showing you how to utilize the Elite Club system and some of the features on it. I hope you enjoyed the lesson about Fa clubs, and if you're using Elite system, please stay on task with this video, and we will continue with the Elite system. Thanks for golfing with me. Happy golfing.